Hey guys, and welcome to metallics.co.nz. This is an update to my previous tutorial on texture painting in Blender. Now, I made a note in that tutorial about using the clone, and some people have been having problems with the clone. Why can't you put an image in front of your model and texture through it? And I'm not quite sure why, but I don't think that's been integrated into Blender as of yet. I believe it's being integrated. I've seen some add-ons that do some pretty sweet stuff, but I mean, there are a few workarounds that you can use to basically use the clone brush on like an image or something in your viewport that you can move around and such. Okay, so what I'm going to do is grab my default cube, got to love the default cube, and we're going to go into materials, make sure, yep, we've got a material on it. Let's go into texture paint, make sure we're in texture U, and you can see we can paint on this part. Oh, actually we can't at the moment because it has no UVs. Smart UV project. Done. Alright, texture paint. Let's go into UV map, texture, add new, just remove that text. Let's go in the colour. There we go, now we can paint. Turn off that normal, it's pretty annoying. Alright, so yeah, we can paint on this and that is fine. So what I'm going to do now is just paint over this. Alright, nope, that didn't work at all. Undo, there we go. Alright, so yeah, back to there. Okay, so we've got our object here and we want to paint an image onto it. So what we do is we go File, Import, Images as Planes. We go find a texture, say in here, go, one of those, done. Alright, so this is just a free grungy texture. And we want to make sure we check shadeless. Now to set this up for our camera, what I do is I go Alt-G, Alt-R, drag it on, go in here so I can see it, and I'll just drag that right up close to the camera, scale it down and move it into the corner. We want that as close to the camera as possible, so that, about there is cool. And that way it just stops it intersecting with things. Okay. So we've got that one set up there, and we've got our cube set up for texture painting. But the problem is we can't paint from one object to another. We have to paint them in the same object. So what I'm going to do is go Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift A, add in an empty. I'm also going to make some better lighting here just so I can see things alright. Lamp, Hemi, and let's just go selection to cursor. There we go. So I'm going to parent this empty and this Hemi lamp to the camera, parent object. And what we need to do is have this here follow the plane. But if we join this into our cube, we can't parent it directly to the plane because the cube will move with it. So what we'll do is we'll go into our modifiers, add modifier, hook, set the object to the Hemi, select these vertices and the vertex group, assign them, that is our group, and edit mode, reset, recenter, done. And now, notice if we move this around, it moves our texture and light with it. Similar to how Murray works, if you've used that. So yeah, if I just zoom in here, we can come up to lock camera to view, and we can basically select this object, go into texture paint, and we can still paint on it fine. You notice we've got this texture sitting up here, so we can now come up, go to the clone brush, control click on that, and texture. Of course it doesn't tile, it doesn't do any of that fancy stuff. You'll have to wait until those features get integrated in Blender, but it is a nice way to just add things in basically. Let's do that, there we go. So yeah, we can also come in and you need to go back to object mode, and you can scale this. Actually, you can't scale it separately, but you can scale your empty separately. That's what you need to do, and you can move that around however you want, stuff like that. If you do want something to tile, you're just going to need a bigger texture, really. You need to tile it in Photoshop and set it up for it. But yeah, that's kind of just a quick tutorial on how to set this up so that you can basically paint in your textures. So the clone brush, select over there. And yeah, move that out. You kind of get the point. That's just how it works. If someone's got a better way of doing this, let me know. There's bound to be a better way, but this is what I've found works. This is what I do when I can't be bothered opening up Murray or Mudbox to texture in. And yeah, so that's all for today in this quick tip. Have fun!